iki gikorwa cyacu cy'uyu munsi, akaba ari past secretary wa embassy yacu, nyakubahwa Dr. Bitazongera, akaba ariwe uhagarariye Central Committee muri iyi gahunda, akaba nawe auditor wa RC Central Committee, akaba turi kumwe na Ntwari, akaba ari commissioner wa communication n'ubundi muri Central Committee, akaba turi kumwe n'umuyobozi wungirije wa RC Wuhan hostel, kandi tukaba turi kumwe n'ubundi na Crispe baje n'ubundi nawe uhagarariye umujyi, ndetse n'indi mijyi nawe yaje kwifatanya natwe, abanyamuryango ba RC Wuhan, inshuti zacu. Mwiriwe, nitwa Bernard, abari ngiye ugiye kuyobora gahunda y'uyu munsi. Nagiye kubabwira rero uko gahunda yacu igiye kugenda. Turatangira dufata umunota wo kwibuka, niturangiza tuza gucana icyizere, niturangiza turagezaho ubutumwa umuyobozi wungirije w'umujyi wa Wuhan yaduteganyirije, niturangiza turaza kumva ubuhamya bw'amakuru bw'uyu munsi turaza kugezwaho n'umuyobozi wacu. Nuko gahunda zacu zigiye gukurikirana kugira ngo duhaguruke dufate umunota umwe kwibuka. Mbere yuko rero dukomeza gahunda zacu, nsabe protokole dufashemo abayobozi badufashe gucana urumuri rw'icyizere, noneho n'ubundi protokole ikomeze inadufashe n'ubundi buri muntu wese nkeka ko afite urumuri, kugira ngo nibamara kurucana natwe duhite turucana. Abayobozi badufasha.
This is the light of remembrance, the light of life.
Imitima igasubira mu nda, imitima igasubira mu bitereko.
Zibakirije umuryango wa RC Wuhan, nyakubahwa uze ugezeho ubutumwa buteguriye uyu munsi.
welcome First Secretary of Rwanda Embassy of China to China, our distinguished guest of honor. Welcome Auditor of RCA China. Welcome President of Rwandan communities gathering here on this solemn day of commemoration of 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. Dear First Secretary, we are honored to have you join us in this united act of remembrance far from our country. Today, we honor more than 1 million innocent victims. We affirm our pledge: remember, unite, and renew against denial, hatred, and division. Thank you.
badushyirireho ubutumwa n'ubuhamya bwa Konsole Nishimwe tukurikira.
Ishimwe, I'm from Rwanda, author of a memoir called Tested to the Limit, the genocide survived, the story of pain, resilience, and hope, and the survivor of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. When the genocide happened, I was young, I was a teenager, I was 14 years old, happily living with my both parents and 4 siblings. Unfortunately, during the 3 months in hiding, I lost my dad, my 3 younger brothers, my immediate family members, and extended family members as well. They were all murdered. I have seen unimaginable horrors at a young age. During the genocide against the Tutsi, rape was used as a weapon. Many Tutsi women and girls were brutally tortured, raped, humiliated. Some of them were killed. Others live with the consequences as a result of what they have endured. I'm one of those unfortunate young girls. I was raped. Now I live with HIV. Miraculously, I survived with my mom and my younger sister. Having the courage to talk about my experience was not easy. I lived with trauma, nightmares. I didn't know I was going to be that young, happy girl as I was before. I thought maybe I'll die without being able to talk about it. But when I allow myself to be vulnerable and go deep within with the help of therapy and write down every detail of my experience, I felt like a load was lifted off my shoulder. I felt relieved. I felt like now life is worth living. My healing journey began. And I wanted to make sure that the memories of my loved ones remain alive. Their names are not forgotten. The history of what we have endured is not forgotten. I wanted it also to encourage fellow survivors to write their stories as well. We encourage each other. My book is also a way of educating young people anywhere in the world about the history of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, to learn from it. And I wanted also to show the world, despite the pain I carried within, I never gave up on hope. I kept reminding myself that I'm here for a reason. I survived for a reason. There's a mantra that I live with. No matter what horrible circumstances you may face in your life, never lose hope. For losing hope is the beginning of your own self-defeat.
Mfite ubutumwa bw'icyizere baduteguriye bari kuza imbere. Aya niyo mateka yacu, niyo mateka turi kwibuka. Hari bamwe bahakana, baba bazi imbere, bahakana ko nta jenoside yabaye. Ibi ni ibihamya, dukiza amahirwe yo kuba dufite abo bantu baza bagatanga ubuhamya. Kimwe rero nayo mpamvu ituma buri mwaka dufatanya n'iki ngiki.
Uyu munsi turibuka ku nshuro ya 32 abacu bazize Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi mu mwaka w'1994, twunamira inzirakarengane ko zavutse muri Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi, tunazirikana amateka yacu kugira ngo Jenoside bitazongera kubaho ukundi.
En mémoire des victimes du génocide contre les Tutsis en 1994, au Rwanda, nous honorons leur vie, leur dignité et leur histoire, profondément marquées dans notre mémoire collective. Que leur souvenir reste en nous, qu'ils nous inspirent à cultiver l'amour, la solidarité et le respect, et qu'ils nous guident chaque jour vers l'unité, la justice et un amour sans haine. Today, we stand together, silent yet powerful, a collective echo, a reminder of the lives stolen too soon, of the souls extinguished in a blink of hatred eyes. In April, in a span of 100 days, the world turned a blind eye, yet in Rwanda's heart, a story of unimaginable loss was written, with scars no time could erase, fear and the broken trust.
Duhitemo ubumuntu aho urwango rwigeze guteza Jenoside, kurengera ubumwe bw'Abanyarwanda no kurwanya ingengabitekerezo ya Jenoside n'amacakubiri ayo ari yo yose.
En ces temps de recueillement, nous renouvelons notre engagement à préserver la vérité, à transmettre l'histoire aux générations futures et à défendre les valeurs d'humanité qui nous sont. Puissions-nous puiser dans cette mémoire la force de nous reconstruire ensemble, de renforcer notre unité et de bâtir un monde où la paix et la dignité de chacun sont protégées et respectées. But in remembering, we are also honoring something more. The resilience that rose from the ruins, from the soul that held so much sorrow. New life began to sprout, one act of kindness at a time. In the face of unimaginable grief, survivors became beacon of hope. We commemorate the victims of the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. We commemorate the spirit of those who survived, who rebuilt, who forgave, who teach us that even in the darkest moments, there is light.
Twibuke, twiyubaka.
Se souvenir en se reconstruisant. Remember, unite, renew. Never again.
Barakoze ubwo ubutumwa bwiza bw'icyiza batugejejeho. reka ko buri umwe ubutumwa bw'icyizere batugejejeho no mu ndimi z'amahanga bashobora kuba bumvise icyo bashaka kuvuga. Uri ku byuma rero adushyiriraho short documentary kugira ngo nayo twumve in briefly what happened in 1994.
What we see in both the Holocaust and Rwanda is that the propaganda tools that were used were very similar. The parallels between the two are also very chilling. The Jews are identified with a J in their passports. The Tutsi have their name clearly on their ID card. In the newspapers, there are comic strips mocking the Jews, mocking the Tutsi. The Jews become rats. The Tutsi become inyenzi, cockroaches.
I think this short documentary said it all. If at least you have understood well the message that was shared from the UN Secretary, African Union Chairperson, Our Excellency President Paul Kagame, and the other survivors, they have shared their history, their testimony, where they have lived in. So today we are still remembering this so that as the President accentuated, repeated, and emphasized it on that it will not happen again. So as we welcome our representative of RCA Central Committee representative to come and share with us his remarks.
Honorable First Secretary of Rwandan Embassy in China, distinguished colleagues and friends, good afternoon. On behalf of the RCA China Central Committee, I extend our sincere gratitude to all of you for being here today for the 32nd commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. In a special way, we deeply appreciate the presence of our friends from different countries who have chosen to join us on this important day. There was a time when Rwanda was in a deep darkness. In the year 1994, in just 100 days, who led the RPF to stop the genocide and that light continues to shine on all of its people. It is an unstoppable light that stands for unity, resilience, dignity, and hope. Therefore, Kwibuka holds a profound meaning to our nation. It is a time to reflect, confront, fought and overcome division that nearly destroyed our nation. This day of commemoration strengthens our unity as we work together towards a bright future. To the young people, including myself, let us carry this light of love and unity in our hearts. We have chosen light over darkness, and we have chosen unity over division. And we are committed to keeping this light shining from generation to generation. Our unity is our strength. It has been rebuilt with great sacrifice, and it will never be broken again. Surely, we shall pass it to the future generations as a legacy of peace. Dear colleagues and friends, as we come together in commemoration, or in other words, in remembrance, let us then join our hands together as one family in action. Thank you. I would like then to use this moment and welcome our guest of honor, Honorable First Secretary of the Embassy of Rwanda in China, to come in front and deliver the message of today. Honorable, you are welcome.
Dear representative of RCA Central Committee, dear leaders from our Rwandan community in China, dear friends of Rwanda, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by thanking you all for taking time to join us on this 32nd commemoration of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda. On behalf of the Rwanda Embassy in China and on my own, I sincerely wish to express our profound appreciation for the solidarity and support as we gather here to honor and remember over 1 million innocent Tutsi who were brutally killed in a despicable crime of genocide. Dear friends, 7th of April has been designated by the United Nations and the African Union as the International Day of Remembrance and Reflection on the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. We remember the lives lost and the brutality with which they were taken, sparing no one: men, women, children, elderly, expectant mothers, and even those who were in hospital beds or targeted simply because they were Tutsi. Dear friends of Rwanda, for those unfamiliar with Rwandan history, the seeds of hate and divisionism were sowed during the colonial period, where the divide and rule policy was practiced through issuance of ethnic identity cards based on constructed ethnical identities, Hutu, Tutsi, and Tutwa. What existed previously were simply social classes. The people of Rwanda were visually and ethnically impossible to differentiate. Rwandans speak one language, have the same culture, and practice the same traditions. The ethnic division slowly created a distorted vision of Rwandan national identity. These divisive policies culminated in the atrocities and the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. Thousands of indoctrinated Hutu militiamen, most of them young people, were trained and equipped to become killers with a mission to wipe out all Tutsis in the shortest period of time. I'm sure that many of you are still unable to comprehend this degree of madness. But we can agree that this unspeakable horror mirrors the failure of humanity. What is more troubling, though, is that this insanity was avoidable. The killers were poor armed, poor trained, and didn't have serious command structure. They could have been easily deterred from causing atrocities. The scale and nature of these atrocities require us to pause and take a deep breath to reflect and confront some difficult questions. How did such a tragedy that was so vicious and wicked unfold? Why did it happen? What became of the never again pledge after the Holocaust, and what lessons could be drawn from this tragedy? In the documentary, we saw the General Meodare, who was the commander of the United Nations forces stationed in Rwanda. It gives us a unique account of what happened. In the month leading to the genocide, he had received overwhelming information with concrete evidence that there was a genocide that was being plotted to exterminate the Tutsi population. He appealed to the United Nations and world leader to authorize reinforcement in terms of more troops and equipment. He had sent several alarming cables to New York that Tutsi were faced with absolute horror and extermination. We all know what happened. The international community refused to act at all. Instead, peacekeeping forces were withdrawn at the very moment they were most needed, leaving innocent civilians defenseless. The killing squadron used this security vacuum to kill thousands in every short period of time. It is estimated that 10,000 Tutsi were murdered in cold blood every single day. Let that number sink in for a bit. That's how in 100 days, over 1 million people were killed. Dear friends, dear compatriots, in the aftermath of the genocide, Rwanda's new leadership rallied the citizen behind an important idea of common identity and pursued the path of unity and reconciliation, security, rule of law, governance, and democratic dispensation, as well as socio-economic progress. This called for national introspection and a return to share the values that were necessary to heal the nation. The homegrown solution, including restorative justice system called the Gacaca, which was founded on the old tradition of dispute resolution, played a significant role in delivering justice and fostering reconciliation. And this could not have been possible without the courage and the bravery of our dear survivors who accepted to forgive. Dear survivors, your sacrifices are a gift to our nation. They are the seed for which the new Rwanda grows. Thank you very much for allowing your humanity and patriotism to prevail over your grief and loss. Such an incredible courage and love for your country. Dear friends, despite this tragedy that befell our country, we stand as a testament to the human spirit's strength and resilience. Our past has profoundly shaped and defined our future. We can confidently say that we are a nation transformed and focused on development, opportunity, and a future where the words never again truly hold meaning. We cannot allow ourselves to turn back. The ideals and the values that Rwandans of today cherish are built on the long history of unity, which is a bedrock of who we are today and who we are determined to be tomorrow. And in President Kagame's words, I quote, "We did not need to experience genocide to become a better people. It simply should never have happened. You cannot undo the past, but you have the power to shape the future." Dear friends, I know today we have friends from other countries. Thank you very much for joining us. Kwibuka should not be Rwandan story alone, but also Africa's mirror. The division and violence that tore Rwanda apart have a core across our continent and the other part of the world as well. one would have expected this tragedy to be a powerful reminder that the evil is still amongst us and serve as a wake-up call to all of us to collectively act in order to prevent this type of heinous crime from happening again. Unfortunately, we continue to witness similar propaganda calling for ethnic cleansing and actually committing targeted massacre within the Great Lakes region. We are still faced with massive movement of individuals and the terrorist group that deny genocide, that spread the speech, and are deeply engaged in the politics of identity, leading to effective polarization. The prevalence of genocide ideology and toxic narratives in our region seem to have been accepted as an ordinary political discourse. Here, I wish to highlight the danger of the continued presence of, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, of the Force Democratique pour la Libération du Rwanda, FDLR, which comprises of remnants of soldiers and militia that committed genocide. That committed the genocide against the Tutsi, and that continue to commit mass atrocity. This group, FDLR, is actually one of the major causes of instability in Eastern DRC and poses a security threat to Rwanda. Our country, as you know, has had to endure repeated incursion by these genociders in which lives have been lost and property destroyed. This is a reminder that we should exercise maximum vigilance and take preventive measure in a situation where there are clear signs that targeted mass murder is likely to happen. It is therefore upon us all to fight for the truth and stop the spread of genocide ideology and hate speech. The commitment to never again should not be an obligation, but the true claim to uphold humanity. Dear friends, dear compatriots, United Nations Security Council Resolution 2150 of 16 April 2014 require all countries to judge the genocide victims on their territory. But unfortunately, we still have some countries which refused to provide justice. Before I conclude, let me say this. Indeed, our journey has been long and tough, but the tremendous progress of our country is plain to see, and yet it is the result of the choice we made together to resurrect our nation. I should emphasize that the support of our friends represented in this Remembrance Day has contributed to our national reconstruction and development. Let us reaffirm our collective commitment to ensuring that genocide never happen again, and our true mantra should be never again. Let's continue to remember, unite, and renew. Nsoza, banyarwanda nshuti z'u Rwanda, gukumira no kurwanya Jenoside ni inshingano zacu nk'abanyarwanda, kuko tuzi neza aho Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi yagejeje u Rwanda. Amateka aduhamiriza ko ingengabitekerezo ya Jenoside idakumiriwe ngo irandurwe ibitegura ukusubiramo kwa Jenoside. Kurandura ingengabitekerezo ya Jenoside biba intego yacu twese. Kwibuka ku nshuro 32 Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi ni umwanya wo kunamira no guha icyubahiro abishwe bazira uko baremwe no kuzirikana amateka mabi u Rwanda rwaciyemo, hagamije gukuramo isomo kugira ngo Jenoside itazongera kuba ukundi. Kwibuka buri mwaka kandi ni uguhamya amahitamo yacu nk'abanyarwanda no kwiyemeza kurwanya icyadusubiza mu mateka mabi twavuyemo. Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi yahagaritswe n'abanyarwanda, amahanga arebera. Ni ngombwa ko abanyarwanda dukomera ku bumwe bwacu, twiyemeza guhangana no kurwanya abashaka kugarura amacakubiri. Ubumwe bwacu nizo mbaraga zacu. Dukomeze kwibuka, twiyubaka. Murakoze.
Gentlemen, as Rwandese community and as well as Africa in general, we must remember this and we must stand together as a family, regardless from where you are coming from, whether you are from the south or the northern part of Africa. We are a family. We must stand together. This must not repeat itself again. No one shall divide us. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Simukonda Trust, and I'm just from joining the Rwandan community as they commemorate Kwibuka 32. We continue to stand with them as they build a future rooted in love and solidarity. Thank you.
Meet you all, dear friends from different countries, and welcome you to commemorate our people who lost their lives in genocide against the Tutsi in 1890. Thank you all for coming.
Muraho, amazina ni Hirwa Prince, mba mu Bushinwa, mu mujyi wa Wuhan. Hano twari turi mu gikorwa cyo kwibuka ku nshuro ya 32. Murakoze.